way. To Russ Vought joining us right now, the former Office of Management and Budget Director under President Trump. Russ, very good to have you. Thank you for taking the time.
You bet. Thanks for having me on.
You know, Director, I know your old boss was fond of looking at the markets a lot. You think he would be surprised that they continue to advance in light of something he says is going to be very damaging for the economy? You know, some of all of this spending that we see going on and more spending on top of that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think these policies over time are going to catch up, and that the market's going to catch up with where these policies are at right now. I mean, we just can't keep throwing $2 trillion spending bills and expect that we're going to be able to finance these things. We've already done $2 trillion. We're doing another $2 trillion now. This one has a massive tax increase on it, and we've got another one coming in April for things that this one didn't seem to be able to capture. So I think there are warning clouds for sure on the horizon.
You know, rates have been backing up a little bit. A lot of commodities are moving up. Lumber prices have been moving up. The price of the homes up better than 11% year over year. Do we have to worry about inflation?
Yeah, I think we do. And I think you're seeing that from across the political spectrum. You were hearing that from Larry Summers as recently as a couple months ago, and we've seen no evidence to the contrary that as the variables of that metric are starting to be out there, that it's not a problem. And so, again, my concern with this bill, it's not an infrastructure bill, and so that we're just wasting money in exacerbating a problem when we're going to need to make certain investments to keep our country strong and get the economy going potentially down the road.
You know, Director, one of the things the president is going to be pushing with his cabinet meeting, the first full cabinet meeting since become president, certainly the first since this whole infrastructure plan was announced, is about getting Democrats on board. Republicans, that seems to be an uphill fight. Mitch McConnell says, as it stands now, he doesn't envision Republican support. But what about the president keeping all of his troops in order? Because that's all it would take.
Yeah, I don't think that's an open and shut case. I mean, he's losing already some moderate Democrats in the House. We know the importance of Senator Sinema and Senator Manchin, and I think what you're seeing from AOC is a little bit of theater to be able to. They certainly want to spend that much money, but I think that attempt to be in a bidding war is designed to be able to make a $2 trillion non-infrastructure bill look moderate. And they did some other things like putting some things in there that probably don't survive the Byrd test with regard to changing right-to-work laws. Again, those are things that are very damaging as policy, but are designed to potentially provide some wins out there to be able to keep this package largely intact, as you said in the earlier segment.
You know, Republicans are favoring a more limited infrastructure package, maybe closer to $1 trillion. That would be for infrastructure only, roads and bridges, not some of this ancillary stuff that's getting sort of, lampooned by the right. I'm wondering, though, how likely that is in your eyes. What do you think?
You know, I think the scale of how big this is makes it really hard to go anywhere near the level of spending that is for roads and bridges. It's only about $160 billion for potholes and bridges and airports and ports. That's 7% of the package. And so, so the kind of thing that would actually allow a Republican to come alongside and then figure out what the pay-fors are is going to be really challenging when they have to take about $1.5 trillion off the table, which are what they call care economy investments and soft infrastructure. I don't think we knew what those were 2 weeks ago, but I think it's going to be hard to get a bipartisan deal, and I'm not convinced Biden wants a bipartisan deal.
All right, Roosevelt, thank you very much. The former OMB, Office of Management and Budget Director under President Trump, his last budget director, I should point out, before he left office.